The best editing doesn't come down to effects or transitions, it comes down to leaving impact. I'm Sam, I edit all my videos on my iPhone SE and I've built an audience to 150,000 followers teaching people how to do that. And today I want to break down one of my videos that I edited and literally I counted the amount of minutes and seconds it took me to edit. 60 minutes to make this video that got 11 million views. Because when I first started editing, I'd spend 5 hours on a video, it would get 1,000, 2,000 views max. And to be fair, I knew how to do some decent effects, but I didn't know the rules of the game. And after posting over 1,000 pieces of short form content, I've learned the attention mechanics that go into making a video viral. So here's the video now, I'm just gonna play it through next to me and see what you think, see if you like it, to be fair.
What if? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be? Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I started to say, what if I can pull this off?
And we're going to analyze why that video did so well, because there was no like super fancy 3D effects, no big animations, like edited on my phone, but it left impact, right? And that's the most important thing. So let's break this down. First thing, promise of a payoff. The white borders come down, and immediately within the first millisecond, the viewer knows something is going to happen when those borders come down. They're looking for that payoff, they're looking for that dopamine hit that's going to come on that beat drop when the white borders change to black. When whatever happens, happens, and that is signified in that first millisecond when you see those white borders and you immediately want to know what's coming. It's a super simple effect made on my phone, obviously, because everything I do is on my phone, and it's just a white overlay. We create a mask, it's called mirror in Capcut, and then just 2 keyframes, one where it's like that, and then just keyframe it down, and that is literally it. Coupled with the echo in Goggins' voice, the absence of music, and the black screen, it creates a lot of mystery. Keyword here is mystery. That's the feeling that we're invoking. That's the emotion that the viewer is getting in that first couple seconds. All these components are mixed together to create such a strong emotion. And this is all done on purpose. This emotion has been created on purpose. Why? Because it's coupling with what Goggins is saying in that voiceover. What does he say? He says, what if? What if I can pull off a fucking miracle? That what if is, you know, that is exactly the feeling of mystery that you get. It's just being intentional with coupling the voiceover or the message itself with the editing techniques that you're using. It wouldn't have made sense if it was me editing a fucking sunny sky and the sun has a smile on its face and it goes, hello. That would just be wrong. Why the fuck would you do that? All the effects I've done, open the loop, open the curiosity loop, and leave the viewer wanting to know what if? What if what? You know, what's gonna happen? They're waiting for that big dopamine hit that they subconsciously have been promised. But here's the thing, that only works, all of that only works if you actually deliver on the promise. Novelty. That is what everyone is looking for. Whenever someone's scrolling on social media, what they're really looking for, what they're really sniffing for on their phones is a little bit more novelty, something so different that they've never seen before that just itches that part of the brain, gives them that sharp little dopamine hit that says, hey, I've never seen this before. That was really fun to watch. And in this case, help them feel good about themselves and feel disciplined for doing absolutely nothing but scrolling on Instagram. And I've created this novelty by doing a few things on that beat drop. Okay, number one is audio manipulation. When you hear Goggins' voice, there's a slight echo, there's a slight deepness. And what I've done is just isolated that little bit of him saying miracle, duplicated it, and then just applied a voice changer within Capcut that deepens the voice. Super simple. And then one breathtaking visual to couple with the word miracle. And also changing the white borders to black on the beat drop is super, super powerful. And what I've done there is, so we've keyframed the white down. You could do this in a couple ways. You could literally just add a new overlay, but what I do is I split the clip and then go to the white and just bring down the brightness, bring down the whites, bring up the blacks, and it just becomes black like that. And that way you get it in the exact position that you want. So when it switches, it's really clean. And then the rest of the video is simple. We're just using simple captions. Like every video, we want it to be easy to understand, like easy to comprehend. Not like if I put captions up here, up here, up here, up here, it's really hard to follow. So we're trying to make somewhat complicated effects, but making them simple enough to follow and understand. The mistake I was making, like I said before, when I was editing for like 5 hours on these videos and I was just getting no results for it, is because I was doing too much. I was almost having too much fun in the edit, and not thinking about the viewer. The viewer actually has to watch this, and if their eye is constantly floating around the screen, they have no clue what's going on, they're not going to be able to follow the story. They're not going to be able to receive that message that you're telling them because it's so hard and to understand, and it's so diluted. So the key is to leverage the effects we use to leave the highest impact, be as easy to understand whilst also leaving that impact for the viewer. And the effects I've done, I've changed the fonts a little bit here and there, I've added some chrome blur and just random effects in CapCut. The key is basically just do these effects and then layer them above the text as well, and it just makes the text look different and really nice. That's a few things I did. One little bonus tip as well, in that first second, you know how the text was like 1 or 2 words at a time? I found it performs so much better when you have the text smaller. So as an example, this video,
I told you that story about how Charlie Parker became Charlie Parker.
It's slightly bigger and it did not perform at all. And obviously I think this is just a better video as well than that one. But I think the text size, I was looking at this, I thought that might have something to do with it as well. I think the smaller text carries more weight. So these are the exact settings I use to achieve that. I use Helvetica Neue 75. I use -1 character spacing. That might be a little bit different in your software, but obviously we're talking about Capcut Mobile. I think that's why I could edit it so quickly as well, because I'm just so good at editing on my phone. Then I make the text bold, make it small, and only do 1 or 2 words at a time. And I'm fine telling you this, I'm fine giving you all my fonts, all my colors, everything I use, because sorry to tell you this, you will never make a video like me just because you have my fonts. Good editing comes from conveying an emotion, from creating a feeling in the video. And I teach that and all of my creative process in the CapCut Creators course. Even if you're a complete beginner, I teach all the effects I do, from keyframing to masking to manipulating audio, all of the base principles themselves of editing, as well as obviously all the complicated effects that I do that you see on my Instagram. So if you're looking to make content a career, either as an editor or as a creator, then I think this will really help you. Because after starting learning to edit on Capcut Mobile, I've edited for Mino Lee, a creator that makes 100k a month. He's got like 400k on Instagram. For Zach Honifer, he's the manager for Airrack and Yes Theory. He owns multiple businesses that I've also edited for. I've worked on UGC campaigns for brands like Nescafe and signed 4-figure brand deals just because I built my personal brand to 150k. Obviously, I can't promise you're going to get 150k followers because you took my course or whatever, but it will teach you how to edit like me. And a lot fucking faster than I had to learn as well. Because the opportunities I've got have all come from my personal brand, from creating content and brands reaching out to me because they liked my style, they liked the work that I was making, and they liked me for my style, which meant when it came time to work with these brands, they weren't expecting something that I couldn't offer because I'd built my brand. They saw what kind of content I could make and that aligned with them. So the right brands kind of reached out to me. I'll tell you what though, I had HS Tiki Toki reach out once. I mean, he's fucking wealthy, I'll give him that, but I did not want to be working with him, so I turned that one down. But you'll learn not just how to do the effects, but also tell a story in a video. Develop your unique signature style, and I include hours worth of live footage of me making my videos, like the ones you see on my Instagram page. I've set on my camera, recorded that, talked through as I'm making the video, the decisions I've made, so you can literally see in real time. There's going to be no gaps where you think, wait, what just happened then? What there was a cut. Like, you'll see everything happening in real time, which I think is really valuable, and I'll continue to add to it over time, more videos I make. This isn't a cheap course though. This is for people that want to take this fucking seriously, that want to be able to do what I did. You know, I left school a year ago, went all in on my business, not knowing it was going to work, to be honest. I binned off uni. I was like, I'm going to make this creator thing work, and it has, to be fair. So if you're serious about being a creator and editor, leaving impact, not just for views, not just for fame, but for leaving impact as well, then I think it might be right for you.